They say history is written by the victors. But what if the story of our creation was written by the gods themselves? Long before human civilization rose, legends speak of beings who descended from the heavens, powerful, radiant, and divine. They were called the Anunnaki, the gods of Sumer, the architects of humanity, the keepers of forbidden knowledge. For centuries, their story has been buried beneath sand and silence. But now, the truth is resurfacing. Who were they really? Gods? Aliens? Or something far beyond our understanding? This is the truth about the Anunnaki. Long before human memory, before the rise of kingdoms and empires, there was a time when the heavens were not silent. They say the sky once opened, and from its golden light descended beings so mighty that the earth itself trembled at their arrival. They were called the Anunnaki, those who came from the heavens to the earth. In the cradle of Mesopotamia, where the Tigris and Euphrates whispered the first stories of civilization, ancient scribes etched their names onto clay. To the Sumerians, the Anunnaki were not mere gods. They were architects of destiny, shapers of humanity's path. Every brick laid, every law written, every king crowned, all, they believed, were guided by these celestial beings. The legends speak of Anu, ruler of the heavens, and his children who governed the earth below. They did not dwell in temples alone. They walked among men. Enki, the god of wisdom and water, taught humans knowledge forbidden to beasts. Enlil, the storm lord, granted kings the right to rule and punished those who defied the divine order. And among them were others, silent watchers who recorded every deed of mankind. But behind their guidance lay conflict, for even gods have rivalries, and the heavens were never free of ambition. Enlil sought order, Enki desired freedom. Their struggle mirrored that of man. Discipline versus curiosity, control against creation. The myths tell of a time when the earth was young and the Anunnaki grew weary of laboring in its dust. They looked upon the chaos below and decided to shape life in their image. From clay and divine essence, humanity was born, not as equals, but as servants to the gods. Humans were to till the land, raise temples, and sing praises to their makers. But over time, men grew bold. They built cities that touched the horizon, and their voices filled the air like thunder. The gods began to fear the noise of their own creation. Enlil, angered by mankind's defiance, unleashed storms and floods to silence them. Yet Enki, moved by pity, whispered to one man, Ziusudra, warning him of the coming doom. When the waters receded, a new dawn rose, and the gods made peace once more with the survivors of their wrath. Thus began the second age of man, the age of kings, prophets, and myths. But something changed after that flood. The Anunnaki, once rulers of the earth, began to vanish from human sight. Some say they returned to the heavens, leaving their knowledge behind in sacred texts and ruins. Others believe they remained hidden, shaping events from the shadows, their blood running through chosen lineages. And some whisper that they never left at all, only changed their form. The ancient kings of Sumer claimed descent from the Anunnaki. Their thrones were said to carry divine authority, and their cities, Uruk, Nippur, Eridu, were built as reflections of heavenly realms. The great ziggurats, those towering temples piercing the clouds, were not monuments to faith, but beacons for the gods to return. In time, other civilizations would inherit their myths. The Babylonians renamed their gods, but kept their essence. The Assyrians carved their images in stone, winged beings with lion bodies and human faces. Even as the centuries passed and the names faded, their echoes endured. The concept of angels, of watchers from the sky, of divine judgment and rebellion, all trace their roots to that first pantheon in the land between rivers. Today, archaeologists uncover clay tablets bearing fragments of those stories. Each discovery feels less like mythology and more like memory. Could it be that the Sumerians were not inventing gods, but remembering them? If the Anunnaki were real, who were they? Visitors from the stars? Fallen angels? Or ancient rulers whose power became legend? No one can say for certain. But the symbols remain, the stars carved into stone, the wings of the sky kings, the endless gaze of beings who claim dominion over both heaven and earth. The farther we advance, the more their shadow seems to stretch across time. Our cities mirror theirs. Our ambitions echo their rise. Perhaps humanity was not merely made in their image. Perhaps we are their continuation. And so the story endures, whispered in ruins, painted in firelight, passed from one age to the next. The Anunnaki, the gods who descended from the sky, are gone, yet not forgotten. For every time man looks upward and wonders who first taught him to dream, to build, to rule, he is already remembering them. The forgotten gods of the first dawn, the Anunnaki,